Good morning. All right, so first of all, I cleaned up my charts a little bit during the weekend and I put my labels all to the side here so it's easier to see. I left the VWAPs there because they wouldn't fit. They would make this thing too big. But anyway, that's besides the point of this video. But today is the 5th day of balance. We have, after this gap, we haven't been able to do much except trade within these big ranges, I should say, right? We did sweep through value for this session. Is if you see this low is pretty close to this value area low, and now on Friday we closed somewhere around here, and then we have been moving higher. Look at this, grinding higher towards the higher part of the range, and we just tested the previous weekly low and then found some sellers, not many, but some sellers there, which is expected. So because we failed to continue lower here, this is the previous week's low, which is the low was actually during the overnight for this session. You can see right here. Usually I have them turned off, but so we failed to continue lower, so it makes sense that we revisit the higher part of this range. So we have these 3 highs right here, and that is the bottom of the gap that fills at 75.27 and a quarter. So the first thing I'm gonna be looking for is, well, first of all, we're opening outside Friday's range and of outside value. So looking to see if we fill the gap to Friday's high, which is at 74.59 and change, and then see if we can get back inside value. Value goes from 74.47 to 74.07 approximately. So if we accept below 47, then I'm gonna look for value area sweep to 07, and then here we still have a low volume node. Just one second. Right there, we have a low volume node, so that is still providing a little bit of support. It's close to that 50 moving average. So sellers need to get below this and below the overnight low in order to see some continuation of this downtrend that we've been seeing. But if we are not able to move higher and fill this and get above these highs, we're gonna chop around, and the magnet is gonna be 74.41 or 42. What is it? 74.44, which is the 20-day point of control. So 74.44 is the magnet short term. Failure to hold above these highs is gonna target and move back down to that. But if we hold inside, above them, gap fill, same thing. If we fail to hold below the overnight low, we could see one of those look below and fail, and then come back to that 74.44. Like I've been saying for a few days, remember, end of June is end of quarter, end of month. There's a lot of rebalancing going on. Tomorrow's the last day of the month, the quarter, the first half of the year. So it's gonna be flows for rebalancing, and the end of June tends to be bearish, and then July comes back with strength, with, you know, for the most bullish month of the year. So just keep that in mind. So we could see a lot of bearish flow, but that doesn't mean that we're gonna continue in the next few months. All right, so another thing to remember is that the weekly pivot shifted here close to the 20-day point of control, so this is a recipe for chop in this area, so keep that in mind. NQ also has that weekly and the monthly pivots all in that area at the same spot, so that's gonna be a little bit of a congestion area. But also the same thing, we're still in a range in between last week's low and the previous week's low, and we still have a gap above. So I think Nasdaq is also attempting to get back to that 30,000 area and test these highs again. Let's see. Okay, Crude is building a nice area of acceptance here. 70 is that 20-day point of control, and this is after several days of coming back down, attempting to move higher. Now it's accepting at 70. So we have that range between 72.40 and 68.50. So that's a nice tradable range. I think that failure to break outside of this range, it's gonna target 70. And gold still holding that low volume node, had a value higher, slightly shifting higher, and bounced in this 4100 area that I mentioned the other day. I think if we hold above 4120, which is this low volume node, we could see 4210, this high volume area. But if you zoom out, what do we see? We see this high volume node right here, and we see this high volume node here. So those are the targets to the upside and to the downside. If we break out of this area, if we lose the 4,000, we could see. And also here 38.20 that I mentioned before. But this is the yearly point of control down here, and then the 20-day point of control is up here, 43.60. All right, so as far as news today, we have Dallas manufacturing business, Dallas Fed manufacturing business index. Then we have a few auctions at 11:30, and then that's it for today. And then tomorrow we have JOLT and consumer confidence, and then I think starts with earnings, right? Or not? We have some earnings. We have Nike earnings on the 30th after the market. And then July starts. Usually, like I said, July tends to be bullish. And we have summer trading, which could be a little bit of a grinding, usually grind higher. But let's see, this year is an election year, so that could affect things too. All right, that's it. Good luck.